On to you, Aries. How you Aries are doing? So last video before I pretty much start celebrating my birthday. My birthday is technically tomorrow, but I'm gonna chill tomorrow, hang out with the family. We're gonna go see, right? Hopefully I get to do some archery, bows and arrows. But anyway, blow the views up on this video. But anyway, Aries, you have the Nine of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, and then you have the Justice. So the Justice card obviously is Libra, your opposite zodiac sign. So the Nine of Cups, let me see, because anything can happen in an Aries video. That's one thing that I've learned. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is from this whole reading, ultimately, I'm seeing how like the Nine of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles represents how you Aries have been working nonstop pretty much. Obviously, of course, when I say nonstop, I mean in a hyperbolic way. Yes, obviously you've taken breaks, but I mean from the perspective of you haven't strayed away from doing hard work and staying focused. That has never been an issue for you, right? And so you have actually seen how all the things that you've done is working. A lot of you Aries are investing. I'm not even going to lie. Whether it's on the stock market, real estate, your own business, whatever it is, you Aries always had some form of plans to turn this amount of money into a bigger amount of money. That's never been minced. That's never been dysfunctional. That's never been mixed up about you Aries. We all know that. And so the thing about it is that the Justice card, this where the plot thickens, right? Because what are you giving justice to? What is justice being created for? Well, justice, right, which is the principle, is being created because of the Ten of Swords and the Two of Wands, which is the people that along the way, family members, romantic interests, so-called friends that couldn't stick with you, that couldn't be around, that couldn't see your vision, that couldn't hear what you were saying, that thought you were a stupid fire sign, because make no mistake about it, there's people who, without going at y'all, because it's not about that, there's people who come into your life who think you're stupid. Fire signs, a lot of people will think, oh, that's an Aries, this Aries is ditzy, right? Like, but meanwhile, a lot of y'all have a lot of things that y'all got going on. You have things that you want, and that you have certain things planned out, right? It's just that, you might be a little clumsy. That's really from the innocence. The clumsiness comes from the innocence of being a fire sign. Me being an Aries moon, I sometimes trip. Sometimes I'll let things slip through my fingers, like literal objects slip through my fingers. Like that's an Aries thing. It's natural for an Aries or a Gemini or any other fire signs to be a little bit of a klutz, to be a little bit clumsy. That doesn't mean that you're stupid though. And that's why justice is given, because they don't want to take you seriously. And it's that level of underestimating you is why they look stupid. Because just because you Aries may be clumsy or whatever the case may be, it does not mean that you're stupid, like I just finished saying. So here they are interacting with you and thinking about you Aries the wrong way, however they do it, whether it's friendship, whether it's family ties, whether it's romantic interests, and they really should be taking you seriously a lot more. And that if they actually are observant or not as caught up with their ego, as they shouldn't be that caught up with their ego like that, they would learn from you. They would peep game. They would see what you Aries are trying to do, ask y'all some questions, and then find out a little bit more about you before they jump to conclusions. And so this is just about how a lot of people underestimate you. They may not even have anything going on, but they underestimate you, or they try to put you down, or humbug. You Aries are no good, blah, 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 right? It doesn't work. And the justice represents how they look now. They are down and you Aries are up. And it doesn't have anything to do with anything that you Aries have done. You Aries are just, if they're in your life, cool. Continue to be in your life and be consistent and provide value to you. And you Aries will provide value back. But they don't want to do that, right? So you now see how people will make their own decisions to be down. You're just paying attention to it and just keeping those type of people out of your life. There could be some people right now who call you, who ask you for a loan, ask you to borrow some money. You know, and this is a big thing. It may be small, or it looks small when you first look at it, but it's big when you really pay attention, because it goes to show the stupidity, how things can be crisscrossed, because it's like how you are supposed to be stupid, but yet you have consistently outsmarted supposed smart people, though. So the Fool card, the Chariot, and the Ace of Cups represents how a lot of you Aries, they call you asking you for help, and you Aries say no, or you don't help them at all. You Aries, your plan is to continue to learn from the mistakes that you make, from the things that you do, from the good things that you do, from the mistakes that you make, the things that go wrong. You plan on doing that. I've talked about this time and time again. Well, not too much, but I've talked about this a little bit. The whole Cashapp Duke Dennis thing. I love what those homies are doing. I think it's something admirable as far as them building up their channels. And I'm not jealous. I'm not envious. I'm not out here talking about, I love what they're doing. Shout outs to those brothers. They from New York. Kai Cenat specifically is from New York City. Shout outs to Kai. Shout outs to Duke Dennis. Shout outs to the whole crew. I'm not even gonna sit here but I also pay attention to the stuff that they do that isn't so good, that gets them in caught up situations, that gets them, you know, where people talk about them for the not right reasons. And I pay attention to those guys, and I pay attention to what I can learn from that situation. And to kind of piggyback off of this, some of the things that I have learned myself, Aries, is to not be hanging out with just anybody. Really continue to stay with my family. And if I want to get to know anybody or anything, or if I want to get to know anything, like I tell you, go straight to the source. Don't be out here hanging out, just having a big crew around me for no reason. Everybody is just riding the wave. And I'm, you know, even when it comes to having like a significant other, right? Don't just be having things casually done. Like, get one lady, that's my wife, kick it with her. That's it. That's all I need. I don't, as far as a significant other, I don't need to be like a Duke Dennis. And I'm not, and again, if that's how Duke Dennis decides to handle his business, that's how he decides to handle his business. I'm not knocking him. He's his own person. But I pay attention to that, and I see the type of situations that Duke Dennis and Kai Cenat be getting into. I don't want to be a part of that. What does this have to do with you? This has everything to do with you, because this is about the same kind of lessons that you're learning, right? What you need to learn for your life, how to be different. I'm striving to be different. What do you normally see when you see dudes who come up and they become famous, right? And they become successful? People starting to call me an influencer, right? So what do? right? What do most influencers do? Well, if you're a guy, you get yourself a significant other, you start running around out here with all this money and fly cars and doing this. Okay, you can do that. But what if you want to do things differently? What if you see things differently? You say, I want to do things slightly differently. I don't want to have all of this. Same thing that goes for you Aries. You Aries see what it's like to have people who think, to know people who think that they so smart. Everything is so under control, right? They know exactly what it is that they're doing. And you Aries are looking at this and you're like, again, it's how things are. You don't want to end up like that. You Aries want to be where it's like you moving. It's weird how you moving. But how you moving, even though it's weird how you Aries are moving, it's working though. You not out and on the scene 24/7. Right? You still rich and famous, but you in your house reading. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You in your house, you're in your home, you're in your residence reading. You could be out kicking it, but you doing that. Okay, you okay. But then you also, there's a balance to that. You chilling and you doing your thing. Me, I'm gonna be famous as if this YouTube thing continue, I'm gonna be famous as all get out. Still with my head in these books. Still not going out much. I go out, hang out with my family, hang out with some close friends that I've known for years. My best friend, I know my best friend 28 years. Known homie since me and him was same age, Virgos. Known him since both of us was 6. Known him for 28 years. He's about to be 34. I'm about to be 34 before him, a few days before him, right? Or a week before him, basically, or whatever the case may be, a week and change, whatever. Or I'll go out by myself. I'm not looking to be and think I'm this wise guy. And so because of that, a lot of you Aries have that mentality. The Wheel of Fortune and the Tower card represents, you see how this thing happens. You see how, like, you can have your fun. I'm not saying you Aries cannot have your fun. You can have your fun, but you Aries also understand what it looked like when being confident and being too confident and having your fun and not doing any work. You see where it takes you. You see how underestimating other people takes you. You see where it takes you. Because me personally, to share something with y'all, I started from 0. My net worth is heading towards 6 figures, starting from 0. Okay? All right? A lot of people might look at me, right? And they may think, oh, I'm da-da-da-da-da, right? And I started from 0. Now, look at how things happen, right? So it plays itself out like that, where when a person thinks that they doing you a bad, they actually doing you a good. That's something that my mom says, right? And that's what's going on with you Aries. Your life is amazing compared to some of the other people that you know, because you thought ahead, prepared yourself, learned from and you're still learning from your mistakes. You're still learning how to maneuver in the game that we call life in this sense correctly, right? And you're moving differently, which is going to keep you from being poor, broke, destitute financially and mentally and spiritually and all of that. And because you choose to move differently, other people coming to you and asking you, Aries, for some money is only the beginning. You might have that more in the future, because you will get a chance to see how a lot of other people, you're getting to see it now, but you will get a chance to see how other people who think of themselves as being untouchable, but because they think of themselves as being untouchable, they don't prepare. And so they get themselves caught up because they don't think 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead, because they think they're invincible. I can just run through life with sheer force because I'm invincible, right? It doesn't matter what happens. And so y'all are taking more of a practical approach. Let's clarify the Tower. Let's clarify the justice, actually, and then get out of here. The Six of Pentacles, Two of Wands, King of Pentacles, Four of Cups, and the King of Cups, to clarify the justice, which is like Libra, right? The Six of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. Boom, right? You still have all the things that you have without having to give it up, because you've done it the correct way. You know, you're not looking down on anybody or thinking that you're invincible so you don't have to do this. You're learning the game. You're learning still to this day. There's still something else for you, Aries, to learn, and you're learning it, right? You're not being so stubborn to the point where the stubbornness is bringing you down. You, Aries, are looking at things, everything is new things that you could potentially learn. And you should look at it like that. Because it doesn't matter how famous. Like for me, the more fame I get is the more I want to be like a ghost. If I'm speaking from a personal perspective, and I am. Like I want to get to a point where for me, when I'm talking about me personally, I'm not talking about for anybody else. I want to be like, I show up, I barely pop out. Barely pop out. I show up, somebody recognizes me in the street. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's up? Can I get a picture? Yeah, sure. Just don't do anything funny style, but sure. Okay, take a picture or whatever, blah, 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 whatever. But then, you know, you may catch me in line at a Walmart or a Walgreens or a CVS or something like that, or at a restaurant or whatever the case may be, right? Doing my thing, right? Chucking up the deuces or whatever the case may be, right? But barely pop out as a ghost. Why? I don't want to be one of them. I don't want to, you know, the fame come with this YouTube stuff. Okay, that's all right. That's cool. But you can tell I'm not putting any over importance on this YouTube fame. Pop out, show up. Hey, what's going on? Dip. I'm out of there like a ghost. Show up, do my thing, pop out of there. You feel me? And live like that. You feel me? People ask, well, where's Kareem? Kareem's wherever he at. Probably reading, probably think, because I see if I can really speak clearly, and not just clearly, if I could really speak candidly, I see the decadence, the fame, and the people hanging around. Nah, I don't want anything to slip. And so the Four of Cups and the King of Cups represents, you see how it is that you moving? The Four of Cups represents how other people's overconfidence got them into some problems, basically, because now they need your help. So you Aries got to watch out for people telling you I love yous and all of that. We done been through that 2022 and 2023. Don't fall for that. They got to fix their own situation and not have you, Aries, fix it. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. Currently, I'm at 26,136 subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. If you want to come through and get a personal reading from me, the link to that is in the comment section below. It would be cool to get some readings before my birthday. Chill, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you don't want to, don't worry about it. If you do, come through. If you want to send donations, my Cash App is $Kareemspiritworks, like the YouTube channel. That's it. My PayPal link is in there as well. Peace. Wish me happy birthday, y'all. Peace.